Warning Malakal braces for possible White Army attack. Malakal, Upper Nile, September 5, 2025. Upper Nile State Governor Lieutenant General James Koang Chul Ranlay has warned that the White Army, a newer youth militia led by spiritual leader Makuach Koor, is mobilizing from Jonglei State to launch an attack on Malakal, the state capital. Earlier this week, Radio Temazuj reported that White Army fighters, together with SPLAIO forces loyal to detained First Vice President Riek Machar, were stationed in Magog, Ayad County, and parts of PG County under Makuach's command. Governor's warning. In a press briefing Friday in Malakal, Governor Koang said intelligence indicates the group plans to advance through PG and cross the Nile River into Upper Nile. The main source of insecurity for Upper Nile comes from Jonglei, especially northern Jonglei areas of PG, Fangak, and Ayad, Koang said. Reports suggest that spiritual leader Makuach is mobilizing forces in Ayad to attack PG and then cross the Nile to Malakal. He appealed to Jonglei authorities to intervene before violence spills into Upper Nile. Humanitarian concerns. Malakal currently hosts thousands of civilians displaced by past fighting in both Upper Nile and Jonglei. Koang warned the White Army against targeting the city. Why are you coming to this far area to fight? If you want to fight, go fight in Ayad or Bor within Jonglei State. Don't come to displace people who are sheltering here. The government will not allow this to happen. Call for peace and farming. The governor urged Makuach and his followers to abandon the warpath and return to farming. As you can see, farming is doing well in Malakal and nearby areas, with harvest expected in October, he said. Koang stressed that insecurity and opposition roadblocks are crippling Upper Nile's economy, but signaled the government's openness to dialogue with the White Army to avoid further bloodshed. Flooding adds pressure. With large swathes of Upper Nile affected by flooding, Koang also appealed to residents to move to higher ground, assuring that the government and humanitarian partners are prepared to assist. Breaking news. General Stephen Bouri mobilizes forces as rebel alliance gains momentum. Juba, South Sudan, September 5, 2025. General Stephen Bouri Ralniang, a prominent opposition commander and leader of the South Sudan People's Movement/Army, SSBM/A, is reportedly finalizing the mobilization and equipping of his forces at undisclosed locations inside South Sudan. The development comes amid heightened warnings from the United Nations, which has cautioned that South Sudan could be on the brink of a new wave of violence as multiple armed groups strengthen their coordination. Rebel alliance expands. According to a recent UN assessment, a growing coalition of armed opposition groups, including the United People's Alliance, UPA, the Sudan People's Liberation Movement in Opposition, SPLMIO, the National Salvation Front, NAS, and several smaller factions, has been consolidating its military and political strategies. General Boui was recently promoted to Chief of General Staff of the UPA, a military bloc announced earlier this year. His appointment is seen as a move to unify operational command among the various anti-government groups. Sources say Boui's fighters have been active in Unity and Upper Nile states, areas long considered strategic battlegrounds. His public criticism of the government's disarmament campaigns, which he described as targeting communities rather than ensuring national stability, has fueled speculation that his forces are preparing for renewed hostilities. UN raises alarm. The UN mission in South Sudan, UNMISS, has expressed concern that the emerging alliances could lead to a surge in coordinated rebel activity. The mission warned that the fragile 2018 peace deal, already weakened by political mistrust and stalled security arrangements, may not withstand the pressure of escalating military mobilization. The risk of clashes is real, and the situation requires urgent attention from both the government and opposition leaders to prevent the country from sliding back into full-scale conflict. A UN source familiar with the report stated. Fragile peace under strain. South Sudan has struggled to implement key provisions of the peace agreement, including the integration of rival forces into a unified army and the establishment of transitional justice mechanisms. Delays in elections, initially scheduled for 2024 but now postponed, have further deepened tensions. Observers note that the entry of Boui and his SSBM/A into a structured alliance like the UPA significantly alters the balance of power among rebel groups, potentially enabling them to launch coordinated operations against government strongholds. Political and military outlook. With multiple fronts already active, including Western Equatoria, Upper Nile, and parts of Central Equatoria, analysts warn that South Sudan may soon face one of the most volatile periods since the 2018 peace agreement was signed.
Ogana no guru bi benen ito baba la ru jamen la guero yitedwer wala lorati an ya ji kanbo ka ya ji panga gabo ma bitew mo nubul kana yir ya lo nori do no wonyi ne kumene na joy ma cho ne nori o ka gak nyawo bo ka adom lam yibbe dol me dan la dol ba wo ngai ba ka jen be wo nyodu ya ka biya wuli ngi to na dia lo che kan yu kuma me cho ne nori kuma la lo no kuma an bi rai chon wana aje an ko kai mo wo la tan no ne no ya bo to ai be la fi ba ka ka ko ba la chok sabra wana me ya gorbet ko to ro ki rai to.
I think this is the conclusion of the message to the media by spiritual leader. It is because he said that now I'm just going to meet with those of Fiji in my home. So what I want to say is this. I said to the South Sudanese across the country, so that let them release General Gov'T to meet together with me, with those of Fiji. Because if Gov'T is not released, that one will bring another concern. What I want to say is this. So for me, the reason why I call all those people, it is because I need to complete the case between Tower and Fiji. There will be no dispute again. If failure to do so, that one will bring another problem. Because me, I don't think so I can fight with government. So if government want to fight me, so because last time it was happened since March, there was bombing in Nasser. Those of Nasser have been killed, and also in Old Fangak, and also in Bentiu. I did not even respond all those places. I did not even say anything. I thought that there will be solution, because the peace agreement that was signed in 2018, it seemed like it seemed like a comprehensive peace that was said by the IGAD and all worldwide. So if it is the government of South Sudan that signed the 2018 peace agreement, okay, it's like this. I cannot even complain much. But what I am going to say is this. So if government is going to bomb me, I am going to fight with government at this time. I will move all those things. The things that you wear now, you're going to remove them and wear the uniform like this one. So he said that I will be the chief of staff outside here. I will fight with government. That is my whole conclusion. And then you must understand, because this one, it seems like literally English, but you understand well.
Kunjurgal ni kalam bitai alan bugulu. An gul lekum. Doblam ay gabal mai fi da. Kali yamshi le riyak mashari shanu riyak mashari sarlei doblam. De au jablei en mishkila. Lanu luma galei ta mata abai shi. Abagar kai mai shilu. Lakini intama ne namulu fi da inagda. Kali do manas bitawal kan biji ma yom biji bikalla maida kaliji lanu badana min yom da ku kitkana na mashet fi murle u kidana mashet fi murle yala na kan giftu fi murle rajaw u kidana giftu da shan u mun bimut fi kala biduni yazol dan u kidana mashet fi shulu yal manusa winal kan gidu fi kala fi shulu 44 أنا رجعته كمان أنا جبته عشان شنو نحفظه عشان ما يزاي ساكت لأنه يالو تاجنوب هنا وكده أنا جبته هنا ده ناس التيم كان بتدوب ما هو كان جاوا من شالو رجعوا أسا في سيادو ده ياو سبب بنا كان جابوا بيو لكن لا الآن لسه يال كان شالو السبعين يال كان شالو مننا في الأيورين ده ما جابوا ومن لو ما جابوا كله لكن في كلام دي الأخير بتاعي أنا قلت تيم اللي كانوا بيجي بدوب لامدا كليهم نيجي في داك أو يجي ما الناس فيجي سوا نيجي نناقش المشكلة كان أصل مننا في بيت بتاعنا إذا لو ما زيده لو ناس فيجي ما قبل عشان هم يعني رجع أبغار ديل هم نقولي حكومة زادو ورلي إذا ياو بورلي وإنت لو رديت زي ما أنت كتبت الناس في بنتيو أنت ضربته بسيارة وإنت أمده في فنجاك أنت ضربته بسيارة أمده بنفسه في كذلك في ناصر لكن ما عشان ما نعرف ده نوير أنا بقوله ده حكومة إذا لو بقى دينك ما نوير خلاص في حتة ده لازم نكتو الأجاد ده كجور تهت أنا بنلبس الكاكي ده عشان نشاكل معكم لأنه أنا ما بنخاف عشان نرد الحاجة.
Breaking news. Dr. Gatluak terrorist Thatch formed a rebel movement? September 5, 2025. Press statement. Position of CSSOM. 1 on illegal expulsion of 2 member entities by NCI in XOM's name. We have learned with dismay the unfortunate, misleading, and divisive press statement notifying the public with said dismissal of Professor Deng Miang Vinang's United Democratic Revolutionary Movement /Quiluel and Dr. Dole Largen's Union Parties of South Sudan from CSSLM. The statement dispatched to the public on September 4, 2025 deserves a swift response for the public to know the naked truth. XOM from long-held negotiation by opposition factions to unite was birthed through an MOU signed by signatory parties on July 1, 2025. Terms of MOU are anchored on opposition unity and shared objectives. Collective leadership adopted in 3-month interim period from July 1st to September 30th, and thereafter face-to-face conference be convened in CSSOM-controlled territory, South Sudan. The aim of the conference is to democratically elect one solid leadership to steer CSSOM forward. Consensus or collective leadership is clear emphasis on decision-making and mutual respect among the party leaders during weekly meetings. All those XOM's sacred guiding principles were violated in the first meeting of XOM's Coalition High Executive Council, CHEC, as explained below. 1. NAF Common Interest. NCI that mediated opposition factions to unite has assumed CSSOM leadership, CHEC, as it chairs its weekly meetings and dictates its agenda up to date. NCI's leader Dr. Gatluak terrorist Thatch is the de facto leader of CSSOM, whose position will be formalized and consolidated in the upcoming conference. 5-member movements already withdrawn and said to have been expelled rejected this power grab. Since an NGO in the name of NCI can't rule over a rebel alliance that rightfully claims part of the country's sovereignty as the basis of our argument on how could the subject, NCI, rule over the sovereign, CSSLM. Public open letter to Honorable Adut Salva Kiir Mayardit. Honorable Adut Salva Kiir Mayardit, Presidential Envoy for Special Programs. Daughter of HE President Salva Kiir Mayardit. Dear Honorable Adut, South Sudan is passing through one of its most fragile and dangerous moments. Communities continue to suffer from insecurity, economic decline, and displacement caused by war. As the daughter of the president and a trusted envoy of the Republic, your role is vital in shaping the path forward. The people's appeal to you. 1. Open the door for peace. We urge you to call for the immediate release of opposition leaders held in illegal detention. Their freedom is the first step toward genuine reconciliation. Use your office to encourage an inclusive national dialogue that gives voice to all political and community actors. 2. Stand for justice. The nation must not tolerate impunity. Vice President Benjamin Bol Mel must be questioned before the law over allegations of bombing civilians. Justice must be applied equally, regardless of status. 3. Protect the innocent. Thousands of civilians are fleeing violence and crossing into neighboring countries. We appeal to you to advocate for their protection, safe passage, and humanitarian support. Displaced people inside South Sudan must be given safety, dignity, and hope. Your historic responsibility. Honorable Adut, your position gives you a unique opportunity to restore public trust in leadership. The people of South Sudan are tired of war and bloodshed. They want peace, accountability, and a future of dignity. If you rise to this moment by promoting peace, demanding accountability, and protecting civilians, you will be remembered as a leader who put the people first. History is watching. South Sudan is waiting. Respectfully, concerned citizens of South Sudan. Writing hand open appeal to Honorable Adut Salva Kiir Mayardit. Dear Honorable Adut Salva Kiir Mayardit, the people of South Sudan are looking to you with hope and expectation. They are waiting for your response to the challenges facing our nation, and they believe you can help reshape your father's legacy by putting the people of South Sudan first. You have shown respect and honor to the veterans who sacrificed to liberate this country. In the same spirit, we urge you to extend that respect to those currently held in detention. Their release would be a powerful step toward reconciliation and unity. By bringing all South Sudanese together under one umbrella, you have the opportunity to prove that peace and dialogue can prevail over division and conflict. You have all it takes to make this possible. We only appeal that you remain firm in your leadership and not be dragged away by negative influences. The people's trust in you is an opportunity to build a legacy of peace, justice, and unity. If you feel this message makes sense, let it out to Honorable Adut Salva Kiir by you sharing it to all platforms news outlets, so this message can fins Mrs. Adut Salva Kiir. With respect, concerned citizens of South Sudan.
Mala medit yeliang kodel, I shall add a tell the long catadun kelganewama. I check her one yelling to congaling nicketuk larana mana, naikona no to yelita latka tokoina. Katunkona lat karole kuma kadungsa Sudan time moraikona. I take it to one long to wage yagantama, canate one along, chigaban nial kalarakian, ne dialan chi part in the kenti good chigan kalap chigara yanyal tamako, larkan and o bineware wicked kajupa, cake bine kuma. Man both ka kwana salpake maya did bine yan might, attenate one along teacher a yagantama, ate General Stephen Boy. Teten, I charagate opposition party bo. Tewin Michelle Doctor Galwa per tai Teten, Ramkel me take a pardon paichak at Teten Canadocon, Chepiragate, Terrain to contact partner. Nay talk on a Chirodian gate, and o take a pardon Kenako Ken a Kagurkan and o Bike Kumasa Sudan, Bikana yan might, a Katandan la rode, Kawindocon chicken calat. And a more Milana yene dialan young tonguara, Rayamora Michalat Kayanto Katokoine, Kagwat and Chiwan Yamona, Mijiramishi, Lara Macalo, Michelle, Kashi video Macalo, she which, and a morning tama, Ajan Lara de Wika South Sudan, and I gonna see a canato Corodian, a quijana, Ate ka kwat bombo malong ki chilet ka South Sudan ka gwa mbaralong ne daro te shibo stam te chakulo wi kwad ken ai chikoro dien je bote ka par ni ken ne kon ramkel ka ke ram pas pomer shibo stap por malong ke king malong ramkel muteka padi take de mission yet te bwa te tanana ai chikon wa de chikon ngait ram radien akor kur ni kone ajaram me pa nyago watch jan chakone chibo stabona kwade ke mdira weka sa Sudan ate ten ke jangwa de shua ajan boy charo mu ke de ke mata kel kana general Paul Malong tekan tena gwami kane de kon te ke opposition ko kuma bo tekan ke de ni ken kalat ken go kum bukan yeti ye ajan kuma bot kamo a president Salva Kiir mayadit man kula to medan aman daro dan tama ray which ka unity state kana makal ka jongle state kan makal sorry jongle state kana makal melero da tama anay kona an wiji te ka guk nuar matatan mishale makwai tut Koor aram kel ka nuare ray chang kaban teo ajan guk nuar mungai kalong ray ro nuar no moner amma quite point ay barar kai cha lar che lat kuma no tega tungwan long di choro rian lat ray kuma ka dung sa Sudan no wan lenga ka gweja ka ngai jino tega bu kuma mun bot ka kwarna Salva Kiir ya di na no dong tega balat ko dara tra dara ka kapcho duno ko cha mot sikuma mun bot ka Salva Kiir talamulada wani yan kamun wani am ko naga ala an chai chu gwijan wo na mo chabula Koor kuche chabula kuma wula dang kana nora ye tana ko chai dang kan nora an chana goro no baneka ki ba doro bai iya patatan si ma kwai cha Koor cha ngo kuma ke che lara no ram ye te cha chele la kuma wud janga ke ka jang kan nora kan ten guli yet che kuma moi ka gwa to long bara spon ke ja kai jana lo kan ba lo ke ja ajani sa bulung ya ba luk ko mi cha kwar no tin cha yen ka tigen mi cha ka kwan ajala lo gamone ajan ba Koor ba ko kap chong ga jang mi wa kana cha ka wen atal chen chung kona ganor dialan tene kel bune Koor bune tong ni wama wona ka makal la de Juba raja mu cha lat ka tok da kala da ka video ndana joiten atala kaiten la de jan poinda aja raja na ka raja chalat chalu ka tub daro chalu ka to ko aine ka chai nya lo ka tok gelam ne mulo no bajaling ne dialon ko no kai ka tok nene tenat rai ka ja cha raja malat nyamda ka wi den la da bagara to da kalat ka jan and wo Koor chine to bantama chinye ne ka kuma nyene ne ka jang chergaman ngai ko na kuma bot ka jang ajan kuma nang nuara akacha joja ngojan kuma naga na nuara pain ken karodien aka kwija mo antama ta ne pin ka yut ka jan jong le ste dong wama anu jang me jabana bne yet ka ja akacha ya matana no charo do brit bo ka makal barum ka jejam boran to kwija mi misine makar misine kap abnewa darak tu Juba akacha elar wono en kuma man bot ka Salva Kiir mayadit ko chajan kuma yet ka antama apuban baban boka bom be min no kaje aba ane boka ka bom ba chawo yenen kona wujang kamishejan at dial to ko palka ane to kona cha yen ka te yen bang ten te kwanu dal ka yang ma cha cheten ke do blam la shewo stop ka date dung ayo ane to che lar no kalwenka amu kalwen antala rek ba ne ka bagalalar abne chine telo Koor bne oten abe chaja no bukor de to abe chongana kamisheja na kan kalwen chana goro te glum mudang ba lu ka ja tel ne de kong bu ban kuda koi luka kalum muradian ka kui karai ke ko do medelat karai muradian luka ba luka ya o ba ne to pan ken ba la yin luin doliana ka luin den dolian ga ajan do kan dana ba luka ya la kan lum muradian do bu mo che la do no an ko war ga ga den en chanya ogor da war ga macha gwar kwa no honorable adut self came ya dit a presidential envoy for a special program and cha mo cha gwara arajan cha gwara lada lao arai mu chong mani aten ko dio ga jano jin pointu ai chi ban kwar kan ta ma ka jo jano chi ji so Sudan a chi ga ngaden chi kan lat kai ji ka ta anda ne chi kan nen ka ja tan chi chi lat chi ka to ja en o gwilu ne dia le kon de cha tik den cha top ku kui mon so Sudan ko bu so Sudan be chong karada ka jan la de chi to ko ji so Sudan dia chi ga ta ngat kai ji weekend no jiram kel Mademal der nong de we kaso Sudan ko ji so Sudan sige chui jelong ko Koor ke leriam ni siang anamo che ga chui ka tele solution atala mi kap lada mo ka bi chong no wan ka kwijamo ji so Sudan de alta mi chikan vidian chikan loje ka chikan ngaden chikan lat ka je warga ga mor warga mi cha gor adut self ke mo ya dit men cha ko latin along ai chaya lat re warga kana mono jin adut ka komadan en cha kamji tiga long mudit ko di mal en chibat di janong ke di jalojak re wika so Sudan ka long ko men cha kamji men bote presidential envoy for special program anamo an muktabumon mutami ejen mukabun chung kwar kiral kwar wichika and wait in a country. Ajen muktabula yin kwar la karelaka. Kalan mandegwa go kiwich. A mite mudijia go kiwich. Ajen muktabu mora mumboda. Ajen la let along go bukwar bike let ken biken galata gwa kachara to go kikware. Ko bure kware te kwartone and bika ruja gwa. Ajen kom mone ajen komecha du self kemia dita latin. Cha yoga no ji so Sudan de alta ma chiga vidien chikan loje ko kan chiga chui kelia nisiang chiga nuaro koro den chang ni ma kan nuaro kwala na ga long lo ne tin wana ta ma chui ka bitka kata le ke lel medeka na lel ko tele an choice ke taram lengred mi gina roichi duno ka tan dan che adut self ke me ya di chala de to we de cher ka tan dan gile ne te kon chi te den to ku kiwich kan mo te kan tama chai joga no bilo ni jan malamo anong ne no diwa ka te jen di ne ten kon ten chai yen ka te jen te chi te den to ku kiwich ma adi ka bil akadi ka lo cher ka man to doctor yang ma chal kan ne ga dia le chai yen amana ramu do den mi chi te doctor mi changa jeno taga tejen ane to di kaling manam o be mal bilanam misi mal misi lanam che goro no baji chum kayet tijep kiret de nong ne chiang mi jek goro no jin blat ka vidu an kala to blat bukala to binong ni jiso Sudan de ad bukar ga nong ping kum changa kel ko bigalan lat kel ka bigoro de nok abiga chiang nir bukana pal buwait be chuta mal ne de alta mesiga ngaden chikan lat kaji duno mu o jojan wo tala mutok mesilat lat ka ki ka tandan tok ki ga tandan de mal and lora den winja we jaga sa Sudan bi jisa Sudan de bukana hopeless enyok ki biga telangat mu kan simang malora ka kwidian chi baladan tema Koran butwa wantama chabia kor mutot ba kor muriup ka ba jiagalong muwa kan china mashie kapyak dear adut self kema yadit namanong ne no dene larji ke jawda ka mediama ko ngai deno linga tong nora ngai deno bima sejama bijajak kamishima sejama jak dear adut goro de jala letano di malandorada adeja nong ka Sudan akadi kwar tin kone cha yen tin both ke doctor yang ma chat ting adil ka jabar adul yen ka muktaban titin ajen muktaban bimal ke bichi amu gwa biji jabba ka Sudan mu wakana shilat tela mu dong bilat. Kamu wo fail kari dinama. Bisa Sudan bo re Koor mi tabulong a kep chwa manyok. To kuya magoro di latin long ko di diri kwartin kone cha yen duli yen ka. Adiru ke jabaral e charoit yen e kwan sal pake mayadit ka chi la loy dengwa ten butwok ko korga me kan la damo kanalat diru ke la degwa di yen nyur kep kimuk te ko chi o agur. Kuya mo muwi la damo muwi ya lat a bilong kalane. Bijisa Sudan dial including Dianka, bikene kam credit mudi delong. Dung malka. Namo ajala de Japan la de Koor mishala Dr. Abiy Ahmed, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, maybe a kwarka ne, laden chala de jan laden chichion ladin tam. Wacha vidial kintapin rekade. Case ne dial ke Ethiopia, lade nyame chalat wacha wakon guel, te dalton, te jega jikian, jaraika ka, jerka lada ladin tam. Kemecha tokalan misher ke lada mo, choka neighboring country, ko bamal. Me take away mitala mal gaja. Be bamal. Be lat ka ko bigata mal. Mecha toka lat ka dal wini te tie gaja. Chokulu lire we da chula da kyobato. Mulono chilade chala Dr. Abiy Ahmed, the Prime Minister, the current Prime Minister of Ethiopia, lade chalat, ajala de let chiladan tamma. Ko chion no bukwar de alte kene de alte chi te dento kukisa Sudan te chi korter. Chika guial, chi jekaka. Tele Dr. El Machar karada mantu duelienka. Ka kwijamo, gone o bilade jog bijalat, mulono bi Dr. El Machar bi jabura duelienka ka biajek. Kabimal enchibat bijaloiten, kam kwara dangrau, selfa kema ya dit kene Dr. El Machar, cherkaman yanka Dr. El Machar, atalgar. Ka kwijamo gone en o bilan mishirka namon bilalet, lan ya talo aja long yen tiel yang ko dialtin la bagwa manish yang ko bi ke roin bikan ko bilin man goro di lat o bi channel am bi subscribe ke ka bi like ko bler di antula nei kangun bi ke bi ko la jeganish yang ka ku yama shura da te long yang ko dial bi ateman